This is book of basically a wisdom of your wealth. How can get that typical mindset of that 1% or that one millionaire. So let's start. Basically, this book is divided into four parts. First is sidewalker, slow lane, then millionaire wisdom, then millionaire implementation. So we go through first part. The great first chapter is the great deception. One punchline are there, I have to say, said by MJD Margo. Go to college, get a good grades, graduate, get a good job, save 10% of your paycheck, invest in the stock market, preferably in a low cost index fund, max your 40k, slash your credit cards and slip coupons. Then somebody, when you are 65-year-old, you will be rich. So let's start with first chapter. The first chapter name is The Great Deception. Normal is not something to aspire to, it's something to get away. Said by Jodie Foster. This note, get rich slow demands a long life, gainful employment. Get rich slow is a losing game because it is a condemned at all street and encroached by the team. The real golden years of your life when you are young, sentient and vibrant. Yes, that is absolutely true. We know that our young age has much more potential than the early or very before. So second chapter is how I screwed get rich slow. The object of life is not be on the side of the masses, but escape finding oneself in the ranks of the insane. That is a great line of Marcus Aurelius. We have Marcus Aurelius meditation, but in the second video I explain this book also. So currently I explain this book, exposing the great rich slow dream killer. Yes, this chapter is also not that better. So we skip the part of this chapter, direct going on summary of this chapter. So fame, physical talent is not prerequisite to wealth. Means this book is suggested about health and physical talent that doesn't prerequisite to wealth. If you are confused what is prerequisite, then if I don't know about rotational motion, then we ask, sir, can you give me prerequisite, means give me basics of that chapter to do face that chapter. So likewise, you have physical talent and fame to wealth. That is not necessary. You just go. A fast wealth created exponential, not linearly. And this book is about exponential, not linear. Change can happen in the instant. Don't fear taking roads that have not even been paved by others. Paved means in like in dirt, in we say that in hill type. So this second chapter also has no more health. Second and second part has two chapters basically. First is the road trip to wealth, the road map to wealth. So this is something introduction part is done. So we going through third chapter. The journey of 1,000 miles must begin with single step. That's absolutely true. If your goal, we can compress your goal into 100%, then just complete 1% of that. Just complete 1%. Nothing else. No Jordan, no BS, just complete 1%. If you can't complete your 1%, then forget the goal. There is something, the sidewalker, poverty, the slow lane, mediocrity, the fast lane, wealth. Yes. Chapter summary. To force change, change must come from your beliefs and your roadmap. Circumstances, those beliefs. Each roadmap is governed by wealth equation and predisposed to financial destination. Sidewalker to poverty, slow lane to mediocrity, and fast lane to wealth. Yes. The sidewalker roadmap. So our introduction part is over, and we begin with the 4 parts, which is called as first is sidewalker, and sidewalker or what? Yes, first is sidewalker, second is mediocrity, third is fast lane wisdom, and last part is fast lane implementation. So we begin with mid poverty, that is called as sidewalker game. The first chapter of this part is the road must travel by the sidewalk. When you are the first person who believes are different from what everyone else believes, you basically saying I am right and everyone else wrong. That's very unpleasant position to be in. It's one at exhilarating and at the same time an invention to be attacked. Larry Ellison. So I have some thoughts on this, like when you are a teenager, you have many mindset that I want uniqueness. Some do piercing and whatever he do, tattoo or whatever else. He want uniqueness. Teenager want uniqueness, dreams. If you want something, then give dreams to teenager and give salary to adults. That is universal truth. Teenagers are obsessed with dreams and uniqueness, but not accomplishment. Success demands capability, not thinking, not knowledge. So basically, sidewalker is a person who don't care about their future, and if he gets some money, he spend today and today itself, and don't care about future. He do whatever they want. So that it is. So we begin with. There is in this chapter the mindset of sidewalker are given us. So there are something 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 to 12 lines. So I will read one by one the mindset of sidewalker. First is depth perception. Means credit perception is taking loans for enjoyment. That's like stuff. Time perception. They think time is unlimited, but time is can't. Education perception, that he thinks or anybody thinks that education is just until the graduation complete. If graduation is complete, then education is over. The sidewalker thinks. Money perception is if you can earn something, then spend it. That's it. Prime income source, passive, not passive income, active income with job. Primary wealth accelerator. Who knows? Wealth perception, very very dull. Wealth equation formula: wealth equal to income plus depth. Destination. Sidewalker don't have destination. Responsibility and control. Everything happens to me. The man keeping me down. The system is against me. I am victim. It's it's someone else's fault. That's mean the responsibility and control he give to others. He don't take the responsibility of his taking parents control taken by someone else. The dream he complete the dreams of others. Life perception, live life is abundant, he thinks. So we begin with next. um, this type of person uh, basically fell into some wealth schemes, that gambling or that like. So this chapter summary is a first class ticket to sidewalker to have no financial plan. The sidewalker naturally gravitational pulls poverty both in time and money. You cannot solve poor financial management with more money. You can be income rich and still right sidewalker. Yes, absolutely. If wealth defined by income and debt, the wealth is an illusion because it is a vulnerable to potholes, detours and wounds in the road. So this chapter is completed. Is your wealth poisoned? Wealth is ability to fully experience life. That's completely true. Wealth is completely experience of life, your process. Enjoy the process. So we begin with direct summary of the chapter. Wealth is authored by strong family, relationship, fitness and health and freedom, not by material position. Unfavorable material position are destructive to the wealth eternity. Yes. Misuse money and money will misuse you. Yes. Money can't buy happiness, but it can may awfully comfortable while you are being miserable. Yes, it's completely true. Someone says that money can't buy happiness, but money buy happiness in terms of not money, in terms of your miserable life. If you are miserable, then life throw you in that situation that you can't grow up with money, and money has the key to get up. Yes, money definitely buy happiness. So we begin with directly chapter summary. No BS. Money doesn't buy happiness because money is used for consumer. No, it's chapter summary is over. Lucky bastard, play the game. I am great believes in luck, but I find harder I work, the more I have of it. I repeat this sentence. I am a great believer in luck, and I find the harder I work, the more I have of it. That means if you are working on something that requires that much of time, then your probability to achieve that things are more likely to be others. That means if you are studying very hard, very laborious, like 12 hours, 14, 16 hours a day, and someone doesn't study, then your probability to achieve that things are more than others. Like someone says is luck, but that's not a luck, it's hard work of your. So we begin with direct one question are there. Big hits are long shots violation of a true essence. Do you believe in miracles? MJ DeMarco gave us a question. Do you believe in miracles? My answer is no. What your answer give? So we begin with direct summary. Like wealth, luck is created by process, not event. What I explained. Luck is created by increased probabilities that are improved with process of action. If you find yourself playing the odds of big hits, you are event driven, not process driven. The mindset is conducive to the sidewalk, not the fast lane. Yes. Wealth demands accountability. Definitely. So I think this is the last chapter of Sidewalker. Wealth demands mediocrity. Responsibility is the price of greatness. Yes, completely. If you can't take a responsibility of your life, then forget about the greatness. Greatness is never born with safety. It emerges from you willing to face that situation. So we begin with direct summary. Hitchhiker. First of all, what is this hitchhiker? So hitchhiker, a passenger that wants free ride. Hitchhiker assigned control over their financial plan to other, which effectively introduce probabilities to victimhood. The law of victim: you can't be victim if you don't relinquish means relation power to someone capable of making you a victim. Responsibility owns your choice. I read this sentence double, and responsibility is the greatest asset that you want in life. To be achieve something, you have to take on all responsibility of your. Wealth demands responsibility. You can't go through without responsibility. If you start company, you have to take company's responsibility. If you get married, you have to take responsibility of opposite partner and children's if born. Then if you are in a family, you have to take responsibility of your family. So this type of this basically, I have recently read a book, Meditation by Marcus Aurelius. He says about modesty of our, which is in our family. So that is. So our Sidewalker part is over. We begin with mediocrity part that has something 6 chapters. So first chapter is about the lie you have been sold, the slow lane. What if I told you insane was working 50 hours a week in someone's office? I repeat, what I told you, insane was working 50 hours a week in someone's office for 50 years, at the end of which they tell you are to piece off, ending up in the retirement village, hoping to die before suffering the indignity of trying to make it to toilet on time. Wouldn't you consider that is insane? Yes, it is completely insane. You are working 50 years on someone dream life, someone dreams. It is ridiculous. One is many people invest in stock market early, like teenager or something else. What your mindset is, you are investing in other brand. Invest in your brand. Exceptional is there. Slow lane weapon. We are talking about slow lane and slow lane. MGD Marcos says, what is weapons of slow lane? First is go to school, get a good grades, graduate, pay yourself first, over time, corporate ladder, save X percentage of your paycheck, contribute to your 40k, invest in mutual fund, buy and hold, paycheck, pension, benefit, diversify, raise your insurance deductibles, the stock market preferably is index fund, say no to expensive, let's be frugal, get out of debt, clip coupons, cancel your credit card, dollar cost averaging. If you don't know what is dollar cost averaging, that is basically there is in Nifty 50 there is 50 companies, and whatever company has less amount of stock price, pick that one, buy it in that particular month. Then if January month has there and pick one stock of that Nifty 50 and buy it where is less cost. Then in second month Feb buy very low uh, low price of that share in Nifty 50, buy it. That is cost averaging. That means you are you are buying stocks which are cheap in Nifty 50 in consistent way. It is known as dollar cost averaging. Get an advanced degree, pay off your house early. Your home is an asset. I think home is liability. In this slow lane mindset, there is your home is a asset, but I don't think so. It is an asset. Your home is an asset. Individual retirement accounts IRS. Live below your means. Live below your means. I completely oppose this statement of slow lane, because if your expense is comparatively low and you are cutting down that expense, that does not make sense. If you want to be cut expense, don't cut expense, earn more, expense constant. Life doesn't not begin Friday night and Monday morning. Slow lane mindset thinks that in weekend he enjoys and in 5 days he work on someone other's life. We go through direct summary of this chapter. The slow lane is a natural course correction from the sidewalk revolving from the responsibility and accountability. Wealth is best experienced when you young, vibrant and able, not in the twilight of your life. The slow lane is a plan that takes decades to succeed. Yes, completely. Requiring masterful polite powers in corporate environment, frugality and Wall Street wizardry for slow laners. Saturday and Sunday is the paycheck for Monday through Friday. The default return on time in the slow lane is negative 60%. 5 for 2 means 5 days working, 2 days enjoyment. Next chapter is the criminal trade, your job. By working faithfully 8 hours a day, you may eventually get to be the boss and work 12 hours a day. That's this said by Robert Frost. That has given monthly earning of architect, engineer and pharmacist, but we don't consider this. Don't read this because we have limited time. One statement is there, you sell your freedom to get freedom. Pretty stupid, right? Yes, it's completely. So we direct go through the summary of this chapter. In a job, you sell your freedom in the form of time for freedom in the form of money. Experience is gained in action. The environment of that action is irrelevant. Wealth accomplished in thwarted when you don't control your primary income source. That's true completely. The next chapter, the slow lane, you aren't be rich. Somebody should tell us right at the start of your life that we are dying, that we might live life to limit every minute of every day. Do it, I will say whatever kind, do it now, there is only so many tomorrows. Said by Michael London. So I think so we can jump into direct summary of this chapter. So summary is pretty big. Slow wealth is imperable due to controllable limit average uncontrollable limit average. Just I want to see what is this. I read it but I forgot. Yeah, uncontrollable limit leverage means you have something that you can't. You are basically uncontrollable limit leverage is you are taking very limited leverage of things, like if you have some amount of money you are spending into parties or whatever, that's it. It's uncontrollable limit leverage. You can't leverage from that money, that asset, that if you have a home that you can't uh, leverage that home. So that is said by not Marcus, MJD Marco. So this is the chapter. We jump into the next chapter, the futile fight, education. Very controversial topic. The only thing that interferes with my learning is my education. Yeah. The only that statement is big. Listen carefully. So the biggest obstacle in my learning is my education, said by Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is very genius. He was a best physicist and mathematician. He introduced that self-taught. He entire life is self-taught, not groups of that. Sometimes yes, but very minoritarily. So not all education is equal to virtuous. I completely agree with this. Some education is best, like first to 12th grade is best basics for your life. Study those basics. Don't miserable in that field. Finding expensive college tuition for an education is dangerous game that can leads to slow lane, enterpent, conformity, and education is servitude. Servitude means we can slay slavery. We go through direct summary of this chapter. Slow laners attempt to manipulate intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means natural value of that particular asset by education. Endanger time means unlimited time. It's time you spend earning and living. It is opposite of time, free time. Parasitic debts means a personal loan. Is debt that creates the indenture time, means natural time to force work. Yes, it is basically true that you have some amount of time that you put in other field that to earn that money and spend it to particular things, like if you are lacking some amount of money, you can get personal loan to that things. It is a parasitic. The hypocrisy of the gurus. There was a time when a fool and his money were soon parted, but now it happens to everybody. That is, whenever any person gets money, he basically servitude of that money. Like if any person earns some money in from gambling or whatever it is, you will find out if any person earns hundreds or sometimes a couple of crores, but if you see the person in 5 year later or 8 year later, you will see where he was in early, same time he is now in current. There is same situation where he is from and where is he, same situation, because everybody, this is a fool, this is a fool, this is foolish, but it's happening to everybody. direct go through next chapter. Slow and victory, a gamble of hope. I have rather live in regret of failures than regret of never trying. Yes, completely true. Regret is much bigger than failure. Fail, try, but don't regret. A regret of failure is better than regret of never trying. That's best put I have listened. So Slolan basically have some amount of knowledge about wealth, but he don't implies. He want to become millionaire, but he don't. His action don't speak that much. 90% wants millionaire, but 90% can't do that work. It requires millionaire. Slowly and millionaire became 30 years of hard work. 30 years of hard work. Insane. So we will direct go through next part of our book is known as Millionaire Fastlane Wisdom by M.J. DeMarco. Wealth. First chapter is Wealth Shortcut, the Fast Lane. 16th chapter 107. First, people want to be better if they have better, if they know better. Basically, M.J. DeMarco says you are 18, you can be wealthy, rich by 25. I think so. If you are putting lots of laborious work. There is an interesting quote. In mediocrity, you working 8 hours for a day for happy life, and in millionaire fastlane you are working 16 hours a day for that same whenever you have that same person's reflection, same amount of your work is deliberately conducted. The fastlane mindset. What is mindset of fastlane person? First is depth perception. Depth is useful if they use by better way. Time perception. He thinks time is limited. You have very circumstances in your life that happens. That is universal truth. You can't obey that. Education perception. If need, learn the things. If don't, live. But millionaire fastlane education starts from graduation. Yes, you are hearing right. Graduation starts from education starts from graduation, not from first or fifth to graduate. Primary income source of millionaire is I earn income via my business system, not investment. Primary wealth accelerator. I make something from nothing. Yes. Wealth perception. Build business system for cash flows and asset value. Cash flow and asset value. Yes. Wealth equation. Wealth net profit plus asset value. Strategy. The more I help, the richer I become in the time and money. Personal fulfillment. Destination life. The millionaire fastlane destination is basically living faithfully life. Responsibility and control. He take full control of that particular business he is on. Life perception. He thinks life is limited, so in limited time you have to become millionaire. So in other remaining part you have to enjoy, not retirement 60s 70s, in 20s or 30s. The larger get rich quick fast lane makes, there is a scheme that something, if any person taught us get rich quick is easy. First is easy, the get rich quick is happens but not easy. It's have laborious work, many sacrifices, many you are completely lost your mind in the process of millionaire if you are in a middle class. Yes, that is in the summary of this chapter. Controllable unlimited leverage means in via business you control full business A to Z and get full leverage of that particular things. Like if I have this book, I will give an example. If I have this book, how can I get, if sidewalker sees the book, he sees this book is meditation by Marcus Aurelius. Oh, what are the language I have, very hard language in this book. This is mindset of mediocrity. But if a person in fastlane, what is the mindset? So yeah, there is 12 chapters, I know. So 6 chapters are relevant, 6 chapters are not. So skip the 6 chapters, direct go 7th chapter. And in 7th chapter some implementation are there, so implement those things. This is controllable limit leverage. I get leverage of this book full. So this pretty example, I don't have very hi-fi example. Switch teams and playbooks. Yes, sometimes you have to switch some businesses. Like I have some example that you know that Zepto are growing insanely fast, but in recent times have intrinsic value declared of the Zepto. If I in that situation, I have sold the Zepto because Zepto is fast e-commerce market and he has bigger competitors like Amazon, Flipkart, Blinkit. Blinkit is direct half price of Zepto. Like if you're ordering 20 rupees wafer in Zepto, he will cost you almost 100 rupees, and in Blinkit it will be cost something 50 rupees. So much bigger difference. So I can, if I am that in that situation, my moral of the story is if I am in that situation, I will sold the Zepto for billions of dollars. Yes, billions of dollars. You have producer in this, a man wrapped by himself makes a very small bundle. Benjamin Franklin. Basically one also a mindset of a millionaire is producer mindset, that if I walk in society and I saw a product like Apple and whatever it is, what do you think? Some will say if I saw Apple product and I wish to have that product. But millionaire fastlane, how can I produce that same product or same product for better features? Like I saw Apple product and I wish, mediocrity wish to get the product, and millionaire fastlane thinks like if I can handle this product, how can I enhance that specification, how can I translate, how can I transparent build it is an example, how can I build it transparent, how can weight like very low weight like 10 gram 15 gram, how can I do it? This is producer mindset, not in the masses of like buying, not buying. Produce what you can produce in your action, in your perception to that situation, what you can produce in that particular thing, what society needs, produce it and fulfill the needs of society. Society demands the exceptionality, you have to produce that things for society. It is very simple to do that things. So this is mindset of millionaire. So we direct go through on summary of this chapter. So chapter summary also says what I say. So we direct jump into the next chapter. How the rich really got rich. Only those who will risk going too far can possibly find out one and can go. Yes, it's completely true. Success is never born from safety. It emerges from willing to face uncertainty. That means you have to take bigger risk in your life, incredibly high risk. If you want to incredible, uh, that means whatever you want, your uh, eating capacity. If your eating capacity is 10, then think of 10. How can I get 10? If you are eager to do that things in, like, I have this amount of goal and have putting that things, the it is completely my mindset that I introduce two types of mindset. That is, first is mediocre mindset, mediocre success, and it is greatest success. What is mediocre success? My uh, my thinking is mediocre success is, if you have 2 to 3 mediocre success, you will be definitely live happy life. Definitely live happy life. 2 to 3. What is in my 2 to 3 mediocre success? First is cracking IIT JEE or something like that. Cracking any competitive exam. In I have live in India, so I taught these things. So mediocre success. First, I talk about cracking some competitive exam. Next is something, get crores of package. If you crack IIT JEE into IIT, then crack 1 CR package. Then sometime you will be get means have fulfilling life. That is my mediocre success. It is a mediocre success and it has very dangerous route. And other success is, I think, very few people choose this path. Is danger, very danger. It involves death. It involves death. First of all, I have to tell you that it is a pyramid. That that is a pyramid. Like, in the bottom of pyramid, that is motivation. Above, I will taught this. First, basic is motivation. Motivation is beaten by talent. Talent is beaten by obsession. Obsession is beaten by discipline. Discipline is beaten by hard work. And hard work and all this stuff beaten by death. Yes, if your path has death, you will be successful in every condition. Like, this is completely my mindset. Take it lightly. I have some mindset, but this is very surface level. I have deep. I talk about just 2 to 3%. I have 98% depth. I don't talk in this speed particularly. You know what is my mindset. So, talking about this book, getting into the track, we direct see the next chapter of this book. Divorce from wealth from your time. Time is a coin of your life. It is only coin you have, and only you can determine how it be spent. Be careful, at least let other people spend it for you. Yes, it's completely true. MG Marco says it has 5 basic routes to create millionaires. First is rental system, computer software system, content system, distribution, e-commerce. Human resource system means farming or whatever it is. Recruit your army of freedom fighters. The rich rule over the poor and the borrower is slave to be lender. Remember one thing, I read a quote of ventral as a ventral things that I don't remember the name. I think it is a ventral. He's a great Swordian. He said that put 100 days for lessons and then 10,000 days for the mastery. If you achieve greatness, then you have to seed that tree plant into the hell, then it grows to heaven. Try not to become man of success but man of value. This is example of, I think, Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs has magnitude as well as skill. He thinks both of it, magnitude, scale, design. Basically is very eager to learn the magnitude. He know what is magnitude. He want to build a magnitude in that particular field. Everyone says put cost under 2, under 3, and he will say how do I can grace that 2%, 3%, 4%. This is completely opposite minds he that thrive in that era. The law of affection, the law said by M.J. DeMarco. What laws teach us that if you can't hit the millions, you can't made millions. So if you have to hit the millions, like I have to produce something that hit millions. That is law of affection. You study the law of 3, like movement, inertia, second law, third law. That is type of a law said created by M.J. DeMarco. So this is second in wisdom. This is second part. Wisdom has basically 2 parts. Wisdom in wisdom, fastlane wisdom has 2 parts. So first part is complete in wisdom. The second part is I will explain to you. In first chapter, events and circumstances have their origin in ourselves, the spring from seeds which we have sown. Fastlane success demands well-tuned vehicle. It's completely true. You have something fitness, mental ability to do that work, basic IQ, basic EQ, basic sense of common sense. You have this thing, basic confidence. You have these things. If you don't have, build it, then go through. This chapter is pay yourself first. I think paying your first self is impossible in a job. You have many dreams, you have many goals to, like, many boys including me have a dream, like I have want to be Lamborghini or Rolls Royce. That is a dream. It can't be fulfilled by job. You need to be work like that to buy that things. Life is steering wheel. Your life is the sum of result of all the choices you make, both consciously and unconsciously. If you can control the process of choosing, you can take control of all the aspect of your life. You can find the freedom that comes from the being in the charge of yourself. Basically, this same chapter I explained in previous video. This same. So I don't want to explain this chapter in this video. Wipe your windshield clear. Until we see what we are, we cannot take step to become what we should be. If you can't take the step, you have to become like that. You don't become like that. Simply, it is basically, I know. The cost of perception is very high. I think Niccolo Machiavelli says, in the game of ambition, perception is your weapon, and the wisdom is your shield. To if attack someone, you have put in your shield, that is wisdom. Your sword is your perception. So we like go through the next chapter. Deodorize whole headwinds. Ridiculous is a tribute paid to geniuses by mediocrities. I repeat, ridicule is a tribute paid to the genius by the mediocrities. Completely true. I agree completely. The natural gravity of society is to be exceptional but average. Toxic relationship drain energy and detract from your goals to be extraordinary. The people in your life are like by Kamar Das in the bottle, Platon. They can save you, help you, but destroy you. Good relationships are accelerative to your process, while bad relationships are treasonous. I think so. Your primordial fuel. Time isn't commodity, something you pass around like a cake. Time is the substance of your life. When anyone asks you to give your time, they're really asking for you for giving that your life chunk, small amount of chunk. So, in this chapter, we are learning the time is greater than the money, very greater than the money. Value much more time than money. Money is basically very high, but time is surpasses the money. The next chapter is change that dirty stale oil. Education is what remains after one has forgotten everything he learned in the school. If you I know that many of us are forgotten the schooling education or in college education. That's fine, but you need to identify that it is just byproduct of your learning, so build a learning that enhances your skill. Focus on that rather than the focus on my schooling is waste, my education is waste, and my Indian education are awful. Don't think of it. Just focusing on your particular skill to gain that amount of destiny. You came closer if you have that particular skill. Education, everybody says education is free, but education is cannot be free. It has, if your education is not free, you have to give attention for that. So next chapter is the red line. Hit the red line. If things seems under control, you are just not going fast enough. It's completely true. You can't control all things, but you have the sense of controlling all things. Steve Jobs thinks he control everything, but he don't control his perception is very good. But he fired from the company. It's completely fine for the setback of Steve Jobs. It is a failure of the Steve Jobs, but uh, uh, he give what is cell comeback. He his greatest comeback on the last setback of his when company fired him. The right road to wealth. He chose the beginning of the road, choose the place it leads to be. It means that determines the end. It determines the end. Means MGD Marcos says that in the beginning, everybody has in the same place. Like in 1970, 1980s, there is a computer boom. When dot-com bubble is there, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs building computational power. He knows what is computational power, and he want to build that. Basically, these things are in the beginning, and you will say what are we in the beginning. So in currently we are in the beginning of AI, machine which automation, asteroid mining. Uh, Basically, water is the next Bitcoin. So stay. Reminds yourself from this that this is very tough jobs to do that these things. It is require very high amount of also robotics also high thing. This beginning there have 5 commandment. First is the commandment of control, the commandment of entry, the commandment of need, the commandment of time, the commandment of a scale. What is the commandment of control? There is no dependence that can be sure, not dependence on oneself. If you are either driving fast lane or you don't drive fast lane. So the MGT Marco also taught us the don't fall into the scheme of MLM, basically network marketing. Do not network marketing. If you own the company, do it, but if you join, don't join it. So the commandment of entry. Our plans miscarry because they have no aim. When a man does not know what harbor he is making for, no wind is the right wind. You are the ship or ship harder. Means you are the ship who governed by ship harder. Be the ship harder, not the ship. Ship harder is the mass remains in the society, majority, and minority leads majority. You have seen that. So the next chapter is the commandment of need. What we live for, if not to make the life less difficult for each other. This thing, yes, I agree. But one problem is in that statement is everybody think differently and everybody has different perspective, different perception, different kind of mindset. The cost of thing, the commandment of time. The cost of thing is the amount of what I will call life, which is required to be exchanged for it immediately or in the long term. A successful business isn't fun game. Is interestingly a best game, but it's not a fun game. You have to remember it. The commandment of a skill. In a business, to be success, you only have to be right once. You need to be a right place. You need to be right time. You have to pick right choices. You have to pick right people on that right situation. Then you will hit the your destiny. Rapid wealth intersects. I think this is the last. No. There is two chapters ahead. You can't live perfect day without doing something for someone who will never be able to repay you. Yes, I agree. So we can jump directly into the summary of the chapter. We have completed the 5 commandments: control, entry, need, time, and scale. Scale is you need to implement the law of affection, what I told in earlier. Find your road open. At first, people refuse to believe that. Yes, I have this thing. Wait. What is the page number? I suddenly closed the book. 242. Yes. At first, people thinks that new things is could be happen. Then he notice the new things are going to happen. Then he thinks he sees surroundings that something new is changing. New things are happening, and one day he wake up and see the new things are happened. What he don't implement are those things earlier. It is completely paradox of his. Don't implement. He knows, but don't implement. If you know hard work is to get into the destination, that's it. You just know this statement. Go through. Just go through. Get your road a destination. The tragedy of life doesn't give your road destination. The tragedy of a life doesn't lie in the not reaching your goal. The tragedy lives in having no goal to reach. Yes, this is completely, I think, best line. You have to decide what is your destiny. It is very important to decide your destiny. Destiny builds us perception. That destiny builds us perception of what I can achieve, what I can take decision, what I can not do, what I can drink, what I can drive, what I can, whatever it is, what I can get education, what I learn, what I speak, what is my friendship, relation, everything. It is basically destination. If destination is crystal clear, then you will be crystal clear in your action. And then if a person doesn't have a destination, he is miserable in his entire life. And be a rational thinker, not a irrational thinker. Rational thinker is he use your logic, common sense, and reality through the process. Don't be irrational thinker like I have a relation that type of and I am fall into that and that. You have to build rational thinking. This relation can't put better, then leave that relation. If put better, take it. If don't take it. Well, I think one example is that whenever you have something, you decided like if a person likes a car, but you have to this is completely hypothetical. Universe has no truth. Universe is meaningless. Universe is there. Your life is meaningless. This is concept of nihilism said by Friedrich Nietzsche. I wrote Friedrich Nietzsche some chapter. I know him very well. So give your road destination. I basically says you have to what is your destination. Pick 1 to 2 days and just write down one word of your destination. That's it. You don't need that stuff BS over there. You just need that particular destination. So if you are in weak at maths, you are face much more challenges, and also finance. This is book is completely finance protocol. So I will say 10 to 15 words, 10 to 15 lines you have to know before diving into the business. First is inter interest rates, taxable and non-taxable yields, amortization of mortgages, the balancing of a checkbook, basic percentage calculation, calculating return on investment ROI, that is said by why stock rise and fall, why guarantee 15% return on a bank CD screaming scam, how stock option work such as callers and puts, why increase exist, how mutual fund works, what bonds and how their rise and fall, what is the global currency. So this is completely 10 this is completely 10 lines which I said. So I explain one by one. So first is interest rate. You have to calculate interest rate. Just watch ChatGPT. Just go through ChatGPT and type ChatGPT train me for basic calculation of interest rates. If you do that, ChatGPT give all the stuff and just put in that step. Taxable and non-taxable yields. You have to know what is taxable income, what is non-taxable income. Taxable includes the taxable income doesn't include the tax. It is non-taxable includes the tax. This is the things you have to. Amortization of mortgages. What is meant by amortization of mortgages? Amortization of mortgages means the if your the room, basically the room rent, you have taken a loan for the room rent and you have to pay that the loan. How can you pay that? This is the amortization of mortgages. Mortgages means borrowing a loan. The balancing of checkbook. You need to learn what is checkbook, the bank checkbook. It is basically transaction of in the paper form. You have to written down the amount, the sign, the what is name, all the things you need to know. Then the calculating return on investment. It is basically in every condition this formula is applicable. Why is return on investment is necessary? That if you started a business and you have to know you are putting burning 1 CR. What is the return on investment? What is the ROI of that? If I put in burning 1 CR, you need to identify this type of money. What this money I put in for and what I get from it. So why guarantee 15% bank CD screaming scam? Why how stock option works such as a call and puts? You need to identify how call and puts works. Calls means buying in terms of when market is basically there is a two market type. First is bear and second is bull. Bear is when market is fall, person earns money. It's a bear market. And when person the market is going up and he earns money, that is a bull market. This is type of differentiation in the stock market. So how stock option works such as call puts? Just this is a very vast topic. Just go through ChatGPT and just type give me all information about call and puts, how call and puts works in the stock market. You will gather all information, because in this video it is very limited time. Why insurance exists? Insurance is the best, not best, mediocrity no, some it depends on person to person. Basically insurance is depends on person to person. If you want to take, if you want to know, don't take. How mutual fund works? Next point is how mutual fund is works. Mutual fund is works basically on the brokerage system. 1% in midway. If you have 100 rupees, you have buy 90 rupees. If you buy 100 rupees stocks, if you earns uh, um, net, if you that money becomes 150, then the mutual fund means basically a brokerage who takes that percentage of your, if he takes 10% of 50 rupees. What is 10% of 50 rupees? It is a 5 rupees. It is 5 rupees. Note, it is a it is 5 rupees. He take 5 rupees and you will get 45 rupees. That means you have totally 100 rupees plus 45 rupees. It is 145 rupees you will get. But it is some percentage. It is type of a mutual fund. If you are confusing, go to ChatGPT, type a prompt how mutual fund works. So next, what is bond and how they rise and fall. Basically, bond is company don't if company listed on stock market, and that if a person wants to buy that shares, he gave money, the buy shares, he sold it, he get money. But in bond, what he do is company direct approach to people, not in the stock listed company. That means company direct say to people, give me 100 rupees, and that 100 rupees in the 1 year the 10% revenue are happened, I will distribute all of these. This is the bond, how bond works. This bond works. And next is the global currency. What is global currency? Basically, global currency is the spread it all over a world. That is, I think, two, a virtual and one is paper form and gold mine. First is dollar. Second is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is virtual currency which is spread in all over world, and dollar is also currency which spread all over world. The dollar transaction is settled all over world. If I want to buy something from China, I will give in the dollars. If China brought me in the form some product, he want to give the money in the form of dollar. The basically global currency works. If you want to deep dive, just saw the videos on YouTube. YouTube is a great thing to watch such an information video. So we begin with the next chapter. So we are in the last chapter. We are last phase, that is fastlane implementation. Three part is over. What is three parts? First is sidewalker. Second is slow lane. Third is fast lane, wisdom, and fourth is the three part is over, and last part is fast lane implementation. So starting the fast lane implementation, 265, the speed of success. 265. Okay. The speed of success. Idea are nothing but neurological fluctuation. It is completely right. Idea are just neurological fluctuation. If you are a doctor, you will say that neurological fluctuation happens only if idea, and it remembers until it remembers only you. It don't extract by other people from you. That means if your idea is meaningless if don't implement you. Like idea is sperm, millions of one work. The fast lane philosophy and its mathematical are potential speed. Yes, it's completely. planned obsolescence. This is basically there has two paths. If you have some idea and implement. If doesn't work, implement. You have refined it. You have to be refined. That I will give you example like Facebook is built for comparison purpose. The two photos are there and compare them. That is type of. Then Mark Zuckerberg refined it like a posting a picture. All refined, and he refined. Then he begins with the video format. Then begins. This type of you have to be refined. So how this is like work? Burn the business plan and ignite execution. Ignite business plan and just execution. Execution is the best reform, best weapon to closer to your destination. Execution builds momentum to your destination. Burn the business plan, ignite execution. Having the world's best idea will do you no good unless you act on it. People who want milk shouldn't sit on a stool in the middle of field in the hopes that cow will back up them. Idea just 1% of the process. 99% is the execution. The world or the idea gives a direction, but you have to walk on the direction. Pedestrian will make you rich. So if you are confused about pedestrian, what is a pedestrian? So pedestrian is a basically he wants a what we will say. I couldn't get this thing. I will tell later. A pedestrian will make you rich. If you do build a great experience, customer tell each other about that. World is a mouth is very powerful. Yes, word is mouth. Word of mouth. Word of mouth is very important. If you say, if your business is B2B, means B2B or B2C, not B2C, B2B, business to business plan. Your product, if you are building a machine to other business, doing that machine to build some product, that is business to business plan. So if first machine, what I will say, if you build a great experience, customer tell you each about their word of mouth. So if you say I will give your 10 machines on Saturday, then deliver that machines on Saturday. The word of mouth is very important. Then anybody thinks word of mouth is very important. If you say Saturday, if you are confused about, then do not give the date. Then say I will deliver these things in some amount of some couple of weeks, couple of time. I think I don't give a mention a particular time period, but I mention give me some time to deliver it. And he thinks sometimes meant it has 1 week, 1 day, 1 month, but not across many. You have to identify the reality to showing that purpose. If a company wants in immediate, you have to deliver immediately. So we direct go through to yes, poor service gaps are fastlane opportunity. Service is in the next, I think it is a service is the best thing. Like you have to like your product is intermediate and your service is excellent, then you will be much more closest to destination. Like I will give you an example that imagine 2 persons are there. One person go to a hostel and he eats. He first go home, and owner uh, humbled talk to him like, where you from, how can you get, and he just talk about, but the hostel is not that good, and he puts a table, he serves the table, and 2 to 3 men are serving the table, serving the food, and he eat, but he thinks it is a intermediate food, and he sleeps in intermediate bed. But when you go through this hostel, you will be see that this fine, this is fine hostel, but if you put not a lot of money on that. And second example is not good service. If a owner not humbly talk to you, he he ignores you, or in arrogance he talks you like, yes, we have hostel we put, and our hostel is 95% is overloaded, and he talk like that. Then you there in that hostel you have self taking that food, and you take that food, but the food is excellent, and you will still sleep on the excellent bed, but your experience is worst in that second example in comparative to first example. You have to think like that. Service matters. It's bypass the product. The hitchhiker to the curb. People are definitely a company's greatest asset. It doesn't make any difference whether the product is cares or cosmetics. A company is only as good as the people it keeps. It's right. Um yes, business partnership as important as the marriage partner. Be someone's savior. A market is never saturated with a good product, but it's very quickly saturated with a bad one. Remember one thing, that even if there is a Yahoo and other like Alibaba search engine, but Larry Page thinks that he want to build the search engine best. He builds it, and you know what impacts today. Yahoo, you don't know. Alibaba, you don't know. But Google, everybody is there. So remember it. There is always scarcity in the product in the market. Good product I talk about. This chapter is summarization is commoditization occurs when you get into the business based on the false premises. I want to own a business, or I know what I do this. I will start a business doing it. If I don't copying or watching your competition, you are not inventing. You are using competition to exploit their weakness and differentiate and skew. Build brand, not businesses. It is very important. Build brand, not business. Build brands means it is a typically type of entrepreneurship enters. Everyone has an insensible sign hanging from their neck saying, make me feel important, make me feel important, make me feel unique, make me feel richer. Like if you bought an Apple product, you will feel you are richer, will feel proudy. So there is a concept of unique selling proposition. Unique, this thing, unique selling proposition means, what is mean by unique selling proposition? So unique selling proposition, what is your uniqueness to selling? Like Apple sells for uh, reliability, Toyota sells for reliability, uh, then uh, we see Volvo sells for safety, Rolls Royce sell for luxury, uh, Ferrari sells for uh, speed, and Porsche acceleration. So, how to rise above the noise? Polarize, be request, arouse emotion, be interactive, use open loops, and be unconventional. Be create, yes, basically. You need to identify this thing. Marketing is the best component. Marketing is the queen. If your product is, wait, this is talk about your product is worthless. If listen carefully, if your product is worthless, it doesn't uh, if it doesn't get into the customer hand. If your product is excellent but it don't get into the hand of customer, it is worthless. You see that I read books. Many books are paved by us, by condition circumstances. Books are excellent but he uh, came don't come in the form of people hand or other, like great marketing, great marketing, like Rich Dad Poor Dad. All of us know what, how many books are sold, millions of books sold. Rich Dad Poor Dad. The basically strategy is about marketing. Marketing is the queen of your chessboard. So the next chapter is put it together, supercharge your wealth plan. Your choices are made in the moment, but their consequence will transcend a lifetime. Uh, you, uh, I am currently preparing for IITJ, and I know, and I have studied physics. In physics, there is a concept of transcendence motion, that is linear motion. We talk about uh, your decision, your judgment impacts on consequence of later, very later. It, I think, generation to generation. Like if I change one thing from me, the consequence of that thing will be more than I think, more than I think, more than I think. This is happens. This is concept known as butterfly effect. Butterfly effect is that is a small. I change my thing and impacts on bigger scale in the later. Like uh, a butterfly wing swing can make a storm. Everybody knows storm. He become a storm in the later. It is hypothetical. If it is true, I don't know. It is a metaphor. Remember one thing. It is a metaphor. So this is our. This is the last chapter known as appendix, and this chapter includes the rules 14. This is known as 14 guidelines. 14 guidelines. I will one by one read it. Just listen carefully, and I just give that naming. Don't just listen carefully. This is the summary of all the book which I read, which I explained to you. So let's start with this. I shall not dismiss get rich quick as impossible. Second, not allow the slow lane to bury my dreams. Third, not allow slow lane procrastinators to contaminate my truth with their dogma. Fourth, not ordain the slow lane as the plan, but let it part of the plan. 5. Not sell my soul for weekend. 6. Not expect nor seek chauffeur to wealth. 7. Not trade my time for money. 8. Not put time in control over my financial plan. 9. Not forsake control over a financial plan. Not demote time as abundant and effervescent. 11. Not assign faith to event to process. 12. Not take advice from gurus who preach one roadmap while getting rich using another. not use compound interest for wealth but for income, not disrespect the passivity of a dollar, not increase learning at a graduation but start it. 16. Not impose the burden of the parasitic tap into my life. 17. Not play on team consumer but switch team to producer. 18. Not dismiss the plausibility of my dreams. 19. Not chase a path of money but the path of need. Not fuel my motivation by love but my passion, purpose and why. Not focus 21. Not focus on my expenses but on my income. 22. Not pay myself last but first. 23. Not do what everyone does. 24. Not trust everyone but follow trust to proven. 25. Not relinquish control over my business. 26. Not hitchkick but seek to drive. 27. Not operate within limited scale and it's my tiny habits. 28. Not dishonor the horsepower of my choices. 29. Not swim as a guppy in pool but as a shark in the ocean. Not consume first but produce first. Not consume first but produce first and consume later. Not partake in barrier free or entry weak. Not invest in other people's brand but in your own. Not give credence to ideas but execution. Forsake my custom for other stakeholder. Not build a business but a brand. 36. Not focus on marketing message on features but benefits. 37. Not a polymistic opportunity focus. Not be a polymistic. 38. Not operate my business like a checkers but chess. 39. Not live above my means but seek to expand my means. 40. Last, not live without insurance of financial illiteracy. So this complete summary of this book is completed. So if I want to compress this book in only 2 words, what is the 2 words? First is hard work, second is execution. Thank you for watching this video.